Holy shit. Whoopsies, didn't mean to put that in there. Alright, we can do a little better than that. Anime Vanguards released their Update 5.5 trailer around 8 o'clock a.m. my time, and I was asleep when it went down, so I wasn't really there to witness what unfolded, but the reception to said trailer was not very positive, to say the least. A lot of people weren't happy with the fact that the trailer didn't showcase that many units and felt pretty short in comparison to other trailers that we've received in the past, and this made people riot. I mean, there were some not so happy things being said in that Discord server, to the point where they had to shut the entire thing down. It's locked at the time that I'm making this video. Maybe it'll be back up when the video's up. Who knows? What I do know is that there was a lot of angry people and a lot of concerns being raised about how fast content's being pumped out and why did we have to wait this long for this, X and Y. And I'm going to be reading over some of the comments or messages that I saw being echoed the most, and we'll be going over them one by one. So without any further ado, let's get started. Mid, we are getting jobs now. Oh my god, that one was pretty funny. Lots of people had the same sentiment though. Mid trailer, underwhelming. There wasn't enough actual substance to keep people happy. And I'm not gonna lie, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm a little bit disappointed that we didn't see any sneaks about Katakuri. We didn't see any of his attacks, or we didn't really get to see him in action. That's the main thing that I had high hopes for in the trailer, because truth be told, I've never seen Eminence of Shadow, nor have I read it. Never really been a big fan of it. The most that I know is that Sid is in like AUT, and Sid is in like a bunch of other anime Roblox games, but my knowledge on that anime specifically is next to none. So you can already tell that I wasn't extremely hyped. Again, it's Anime Vanguards though, so I knew that they were going to put out a dope-ass unit, and from the sneaks alone and him playing the piano, that was pretty cool. But the trailer was just Sid playing the piano, then we saw Delta, who's also from that anime, and we just saw like two versions of Sid, him before he takes the mask off, him when he takes the mask off. It was a 60-second trailer, basically, because it was like a minute of showcase, and then the rest was what they do at the end of every trailer, where they like slowly fade into the Anime Vanguards logo and say coming soon, and that was basically it. Correct me if I'm wrong though, I watched the trailer and that's all that I could pick up on it. Maybe you guys saw something that I didn't, but that's basically the cliff notes of the trailer. The whole thing was 1 minute and 47 seconds, so it is definitely a lot shorter than the usual trailer that we've gotten, and that explains the immediate knee-jerk reaction as to why people are so unhappy with the trailer. And this message is just one of the many, you know, people didn't like the trailer, and now they're just mad at the game. We're seeing the return of the infamous nickname Anime Vanguards, and if you guys don't know, this little nickname originated back from before they had even released, and they would just keep delaying the game over and over again. So people were just like, yeah, this game's coming out soon, coming out never. And yeah, I guess the trailer brought back some of those old feelings. Let's move on. What the heck was the point of this trailer? We already saw this and no release date. You know, that's another thing that I kind of wanted to touch up on. I low-key think the Anime Vanguards developers shot themselves in the foot by sneaking too often. I never thought that I would say that. I never thought I would be uttering those words in my life. But could it be that by giving us too many sneak peeks, the community was too happy to the point where they were just expecting a lot more from the trailer itself? At least that's how it's coming off to me, because we did get plenty of sneak peeks. They've really improved on that since release. I remember back then they would update and we would get radio silence for like a month, and then we get a sneak, and that made people very, very mad. So they've definitely been working on that. We can see that to this day, because we get sneak peeks a lot more often. We get a lot more communication. We see a lot more things behind the scenes of like little hints that they're working on, or a unit, or this and that. But they've done that so much that now that they released the trailer and they're showcasing the things that are going to be in the update, people are underwhelmed because they've already seen it in the sneaks. I don't really know if that's a fair thing to say. I guess you can never really have too many sneak peeks, in my opinion, right? Like, the more the better. It's better to keep your players updated than to leave them in the dark, I would say. But I don't know, like, it is true though. A majority of what was in that trailer was showcased in the sneaks. A majority. There's still some things that are trailer specific, but it definitely helps to not sneak as much. I might be alone on that though. the way that I see it, they're kind of in the DJ Khaled suffering from success situation. Too many sneak peeks to the point where the trailer was just, eh. That's it? Question mark, question mark, question mark. 3 of them in a row. I thought this one would be fun to include because this guy's a mod. So, you know, if even the mods are like, damn, where's the rest? I don't know, bro. Shit might be going south. Oh my god. But anyways, I also agree with this take. I saw the trailer and it was kind of short and I was like, damn, that's it? Like, no, we're not going to see any gameplay of my goat Katakuri? Come on, bro. Like, One Piece is the main thing that I'm looking forward to in Update 5.5. Don't get me wrong, Sid is going to be cool, but I already know the grind to get him is going to be arduous and long and monotonous. So I'm more so looking forward to getting Katakuri, even though I'm well aware that he's probably going to be a World Lines unit. So it is going to be 100 floors of doing World Lines to get him, but I'm not too worried about that. That one's pretty self-explanatory. Anyways, let's move on. Wrong move to advertise it as a trailer if it was only 45 seconds long. That is also definitely some food for thought. I will say this. The trailer was short. Do I think it constitutes as a trailer? I mean, it does, obviously, right? They had little cinematics, the music, the characters attacking. It's what they have in every single trailer. But the fact that it was so short in comparison to everything else definitely rubbed some feathers the wrong way. And I can see why. I can definitely see why. Do I think it was a bad idea to release this trailer as a whole? That's a good question. I feel like they're in a damned if they do, damned if they don't situation. Either they don't drop the trailer and people are going to be upset, or they did drop it as is and people are now upset regardless. So it's really one of those things like, what were they going to do? And I will go into what the developers said in response to the community's unhappiness pretty soon. I think I'm just going to go over like 1 or 2 more messages and we'll wrap it up. I lied. All the other hate comments were just people parroting the exact same thing, so it'd kind of be a waste of time to go over them if there's nothing new to the conversation. So we'll just move on to what the devs responded. Immediately, you know, they had to go into damage control mode here, and this is what they said. Here's the entirety of their messages if you want to pause it and read it yourself, or I can just give you the cliff notes. Kazuo's like, hey guys, I know you're not happy with the fact that there's not that many units, but we did revamp some game modes, and we did make the game better. And Pystef was like, yeah guys, just wait till update 6, it's going to be goated. We're going to have PvP, trust us, just wait, just give us some time. And that's basically the entirety of it. So, what do I personally think about this trailer? You know, I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't a little bit disappointed that it was shorter than usual. And I saw the announcement for the trailer and I started smiling. I was like, oh, okay, this trailer's going to be like, what, 4 or 5 minutes? Yeah, I can easily milk a 30-minute video out of this. I was wrong. You know, like, every man has their limits, and I have to admit, I don't think I could stretch a 1-minute video. And it wasn't even 1 minute, it was like 45 seconds of like sustenance. I can't stretch that to 30 minutes, you know. I was a little sad about that. But I'm still well aware of the fact that they have big things in the works, so I'm not too mad. At the end of the day, like, video ideas for me are not hard to come by. I can always just make something up on the fly. But I can definitely see from a player perspective how it's a little bit disappointing and underwhelming to be waiting this long for an update to receive a trailer that seems like it doesn't have that many things in it. I'll also say this. They did mention that the Sid obtainment method will be the bulk of the content. To me, that reads like, get ready to grind a good 25 hours to get this unit. Maybe. Well, I won't say maybe. Anime Vanguards has never been known for including RNG in their obtainment methods. They've always tried to stray away from that. Actually, I'm like, I think some of them, you definitely needed to get lucky for some of them. But you get what I'm trying to say. Their obtainment methods are usually not too offensive. You can take the Vegito obtainment method for a good example. That one was so easy to do. You could literally knock it out in a day if you already had the units ready. Well, the singular unit, the Roku Angel unit. But overall, this trailer was short. That's a given. People weren't happy. Also a given. All that I'm going to say is that, man, I am hyped for PvP. I already knew that 5.5 was going to be a filler update. And this is a pretty good example, case in point. But it seems like a lot of people are still unhappy with that. My best advice to the guys out there that are not pleased with how short the trailer was and how little substance there really is for this 5.5 update. You know, if you're not patient, you're not patient. Good things come to those who wait, I suppose. But with all that being said, that is going to be it from me. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about the trailer. Are you happy? Are you mad? Are you disappointed? Are you feeling impatient? I would love to hear what you have to say. But for now, that's it from me. Have a great day or night wherever you are. Stay tuned for more content, and we'll catch you in the next one.